Do you like series?
Echoes call from hollow halls, a voice that creeps and softly crawls. Time stands still, the air is...
Instagram is where you visit for polished images and the most beautiful videos. But deep beneath those visually pleasing vacation media and polished aesthetics is a dark and disturbing side many do not know about. From pages that make you question the sanity of their creators, to others that represent the most psychologically unsettling memories. These are the most disturbing accounts on Instagram. The first Instagram account we'll explore features something that looks like an organization that has been around for a very long time, probably around 2007. However, no one seems to know what they are or do, despite the massive amount of data we're able to get our hands on these days. We did some digging and also present some of the most relevant information others have gathered over the years. The account on Instagram is LHOHQ, with dots between the letters. Their display image features a circle with a hexagon inside it. Each point on the shape has each of the letters going clockwise and starting with the letter L at the top. The point opposite the L has a bird. The hexagon contains a pentagon, which also doubles as a maze that starts with the Eye of Horus in the middle. They have 23 posts on the account. The first one is a video uploaded in June 2020. It starts by showing the back of a horse. We'll make a reference to this later. The video turned out to be a short film titled Space Girl First Time on the Farm. One of the descriptions I found online says it's about a surreal, sparkling figure known as Space Girl. In the film, she appears on a farm and observes the complicated relationships of its inhabitants. The Instagram account has other videos and some images. Some captions state the title, while others feature confusing texts. One of the videos is dedicated to mind control. And there's another one with actors engaging in inappropriate scenes. The latter and a couple of other videos start with the words Laughing Horses Orifice Headquarters, which turned out to be the meaning of LHOHQ. Remember the horse image at the start of the Space Girl video? Yeah. We think it might just be the visual reference of the meaning. The videos don't make much sense, but we can get a bit of context from other places on the internet. What better place to start than the link on the account itself? The description says, "Welcome of the internets," and there's a link to a website. Just a heads up, the website features weird colors and flashing lights, among other disturbing things. It could be terribly uncomfortable for some people. That's something to note if you plan to visit the site. The first page is like a collage of multiple information, and it's unclear how they all relate. Some of it is mind control discussions, philosophy, historical commentary, and others related to conspiracy theories. There's a paragraph about Morgan's disease and another part on Michael Rakinoshudo's letter. Yes, that one, which details how he gave the US government information about the 9/11 attacks months before. It's a part of a conspiracy theory movement that claims involvement of some US agencies in the attack. Multiple texts are layered on top of each other on the website, and there are loads and loads of links and pages everywhere on the site. They have videos, PDF files, and a ton of references, many of which do not make sense. Some of the pages have phone numbers, emails, and addresses of politicians. Some of them include Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton. So, we're assuming that the others are also politicians. I found a discussion on Reddit where a user said the content on the pages changes from time to time, suggesting the website gets updated but someone else thinks it uses some algorithm that creates new pages when you interact with the site. I found a page titled Video for Cinema, which lists and links to some videos on their Instagram account. There are 4 other videos apart from Space Girl: The Pond, Kelvengala, Goodbye Zombie, and How to Overcome Insomnia and Sleep Deeply. The videos contain explicit visuals and blood. Some videos on LHOHQ's Instagram and website are clearly from other places. One of the videos on mind control is from the Church of the Subgenius, which does not seem to have any reaction to LHOHQ. It seems they're just uploading different videos from different places. However, it's strange that they're doing so without crediting the sources, which may hint at the fact that these people who own the works are the ones behind LHOHQ. That will explain why the videos are there without credit. Interestingly, and in contrast to many of the pages on the site, the pages for the Pond and Kalvengla videos have a photo and a credit of the creator of the photo. It says, "Photo by DM." The DM is hyperlinked, leading to a page owned by Dmitry Myaskovsky, while the page itself is empty. A quick Google search of the name would give you more context. Dmitry Myaskovsky is an artist whose work is quite peculiar. A lot of it portrays explicit visuals, so we can't show them here. However, on Dmitry's WordPress page, you'll find links to what we assume are places where his works appear. That's because one of the links is his Flickr page, and directly under it is LHOHQ. His Flickr page, by the way, mentioned Milwaukee River with art, which is something we'll come back to in a bit. It is unclear what relationship Dmitry has with LHOHQ. Is he the owner or just one of the members? Perhaps he's just someone tasked with making images for the website. Let's go back to the website where we can find 4 regular links: advertising, products, about, and contact. The advertising link leads to a long list of documents whose relationship with LHOHQ is unknown. The page also has at least one video. I found a video talking about outer space.
Gentlemen, the conquest of outer space is the greatest technological challenge of the age in which we live. The first decisive step in the conquest of space will be the placing of an object into an orbit wherein it will indefinitely circle the Earth.
The product page is the Video for Cinema one, which has those 5 videos. As for the About page, which you'd expect to tell us more about LHOHQ, it pretends to do so, but there's not much useful information on that page. It says Laughing Horses Orifice is dedicated to the highest possible quality product. Our standards of excellence always involve our vision to grow our product going forward, and to ensure our corporate vision is always our top priority. It is followed by a repeat of the same statements. The page has links on the side that lead to other pages, like the ones we've seen earlier. They have flashing images and explicit visuals. The contact page is a little more interesting, as it displays user comments. The page also allows you to post comments. A YouTuber, Blame It on Jorge, found somewhere on the internet where someone mentioned that there's an organization called Laughing Horses Orifice Headquarters in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Another person who's linked to LHOHQ is Mark Escribano, who studied in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His name appeared as one of the directors of Space Girl, and you can find the film on his Vimeo page. There, it states that the film was created by LHO for a 24-hour competition. In the end, LHOHQ's website may be an internet art, a marketing project, or a database of conspiracy theories. We'd love to know what you think in the comments. Before we go any further, I just want to ask you for a small favor. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. We are pushing to hit 200,000 subscribers before the year ends. It feels impossible, but I know we can achieve it together because your support has been unreal. I know you'll subscribe, so without wasting more time, let's get back to the video. Sabrina Miller 230 is a disturbing Instagram account belonging to an alien. At least, that's what she claims. But is Sabrina really who she claims to be? Let's see what we can learn from her Instagram account. As soon as you arrive on the profile page, you can't help but notice the eerie nature. A quick glance at the media shows a strange-looking account holder who doesn't look human. She appears doll-like, with a shiny face. However, she displays a variety of emotions in the images and videos. Sometimes she has a red substance around her mouth and coming out of her eyes. The bio description says, "I love people and getting to know them. My posts on this social interaction platform are a way to archive my thoughts." We get an idea of what's going on in one of her early posts. On March 10, 2021, Sabrina posted 3 pictures. The first 2 are the same, and they have no captions. The third picture, meanwhile, explains what she's up to.
Great day.
I helped my friend Barry a bit with his depression. He sent me some photos of him when he was younger, in his living room with his mom, cleaning. Some photos of him celebrating his birthday. I reminded him of the nostalgia, and to remember good times await in the future. I've always been so scared to interact with people. Ever since Richard, I have felt so used by your kind. But I'm trying to adapt. The closest friend I had was John, but I can't find him after he moved away. Here, we get introduced to 3 supposed male human friends of this person, who claims to be an alien. A current friend, Barry, whom she was helping to get over his depression. Then there is Richard, who made her feel used, and John, who was really nice to her before moving away. She mentioned your kind and her struggles with interaction, reminding us that she's not human. Things started to get disturbing about a week after that, when she posted a picture of herself crying, but rather than tears, there's what appears to be blood coming out of her eyes. She explains in the caption that she mixes up tears with blood. As it turned out, she was crying because her friend Barry was not getting better. As she posted more, she shared more details about herself, such as the post where she said she could grow her hair to any length. But her revelations would get more disturbing. Sabrina mentioned that she got to Earth with the help of her friend, Richard. She said she had visions of the past and future. Then, we understand why she looked plastic. She revealed that she embodied a mannequin, which made her feel happy. Later, Sabrina expressed sadness because she felt exploited. She revealed that she had come to Earth because of friendship and hopes to share mutual knowledge. But according to her post, she was not getting anything in return for the magic she performed. One thing that repeatedly raised suspicions was Sabrina's hashtags. Even on her pretty regular posts, she'd add things like hungry, thirsty, or yummy. After some time, we start to understand the hashtags better and learn how Sabrina feeds. On July 14, 2021, she posted a picture with a red liquid that we can assume is blood all over her mouth. Thirst quenched. Back at home, we consumed a sort of organic material to stay alive. And here on this planet, it appears there are many organic forms to choose from. Another reason some of my family wants to come here too. In another post, she stated, "Gorged out way too much to celebrate surpassing 200 followers today. Will I gorge out when I get to 300? Of course." She had posted earlier that she took 2 friends home to study. She also suggested it's something her family had always wanted to do. And later, we learned that some of her relatives had joined her on Earth. I tried to have one of my family members take a photo of me turning into my true form, but sadly this was the only thing it captured. It seems like Sabrina was not only feeding on humans, but also helping other aliens to understand us so that they can take over our planet. The account continued to post unhinged versions of Sabrina, including this one. "I couldn't control my hunger last night. They didn't deserve what happened to them. Why do you have to taste so good? My species eats organic matter." And that typically was organisms that had no physical form. But this just tastes so much better. To help us understand Sabrina's story better, let's look at her backstory. The Instagram account has some links, and one of them leads to the journal of Richard Williams, the same person whom Sabrina mentioned in some of her posts. Richard was an inventor who created a technology known as the Infinity Box. With it, he communicated with an alien, Sabrina, who expressed a desire to visit Earth after learning English through Richard's help. When Sabrina arrived on the planet, she took a humanoid form and named herself Sabrina Miller. At first, Richard is fascinated by her curiosity and shape-shifting abilities. She learns emotions, mimics humans and objects, and even expresses affection for him. However, Richard's fascination turns to obsession and cruelty as he begins experimenting on her, testing her pain tolerance and abilities with disturbing violence. Sabrina endures the abuse, regenerating each time. A section of the journal stated, "I tried some exercises with Sabrina for the past few days. She was able to take the form of me. It was like looking in a mirror. Absolute magic. She can take the form of practically anything she can see. The chair, rug, pen, etc. I gave her the description of my old girlfriend, Catherine. Curious if she'd be able to go off my descriptions, since I had no photograph. I unfortunately was given the most horrendous faces I've ever seen." Then it ended with, "I must find a photo of her for reference and do later tests." As tensions grow, Sabrina becomes defiant and emotional, sneaking out at night and rejecting Richard's attempts to control her. When he tries to send her back, she reacts violently, emitting terrifying sounds that force him to flee. He later returns to find her gone, growing paranoid and regretful. Richard's mental state deteriorates. He obsesses over his ex Catherine and returns to her to get a photograph of her. Eventually, Sabrina returns, and overjoyed Richard decides to leave everything behind with her. His final journal entry is a letter to his parents stating that he and Sabrina are leaving the country to start a new life together, never to return. But the letter supposedly written by Richard was strange, and there are signs that it could have been written by Sabrina. This fueled suspicions that Richard may have come to some harm from Sabrina. Perhaps he was her first victim. The Instagram posts by Sabrina follow the documentation in the journal. Following the posts, we learned that Sabrina became more positive and started seeing the good in humans. She also started to consume beets instead of humans. In case you haven't caught on with all this, it is likely an ARG and not an actual alien on Instagram. But you'll agree that a lot of impressive efforts have gone into this account. The story, images, and the way they've been laid out over multiple years show that there's a talented person behind the account. The account continues to post content, including disturbing content, so it's one to keep an eye on. Happiness in Everyday is an Instagram account that you don't want its content creeping into your suggested video reels when scrolling around 1 in the morning. So, how do we explain that they have 2083K followers and counting? The truth about this account is that you'll gladly click on their videos when you see the thumbnails. They give junior high schooler vibes. Some of them look like they want to share a cool tip with you, and others are just engaging in other ways. However, the posts are not what they seem, and many who fall for their tricks end up with an egg-on-face moment. But that is still the least of their worries. So, what's up with this account? And what's so disturbing about the content? They have 47 posts, with the first posted on August 3, 2025. However, I did notice something in the third video on the account. The caption says, "The Happiness in Everyday team thanks you for a lovely year. We compiled our favorite interactions of 20. Here's to many, many more. Thank you, and we'll see you very soon." The post itself is a carousel of different images, with the first one saying, "Our favorite interactions of 2024. It appears they've had other posts that are not currently on the page. So, I did a little digging and discovered that they used to have other posts on the account, but their style had been the same all through the years. Their first post, which is no longer on the page, is an image of a blooming rose. There's no caption or context. As the comment sections revealed, the only thing was that the image had a blurry QR code that no one could scan. After that first photo, the account went on to post a series of disturbing videos. The first couple of seconds, as well as the thumbnails, are usually bait. They show harmless everyday stuff, but they quickly transition into a video with strange or creepy messages when you continue watching. The current first post shows a cupcake, but the video continues until you see a message that says, "I have a gift for you. It's a cupcake." I added a smile. Do you like cherries? I hope you like it. Are you happy? 2 red dots appear on the screen before slowly showing a bizarre set of teeth below them. The video draws you in, makes you comfortable, and then, just when you've let your guard down, it hits you with a scary scene.
Do you like cherries? I added one for you. I hope you like it. Are you happy?
The next similar content has the image of one of the Minions characters from the Minions movie. It is accompanied by a text of "I know what you did" and upbeat music. The screen is suddenly covered with text flashes, and the sound changes into a scary one. The same theme continued on their posts. They feature a screeching voiceover that makes the videos even more ominous.
I know what you did. You know what you did. I know what you did. I know.
Commendably, the account doesn't forget to do the other necessary things to keep its community intact. They engage their followers in different ways and also thank them when they reach significant milestones. Now, if you thought the previous accounts were weird, buckle up, because this next one takes things to a whole new level of bizarre. The first time I came across this account was through one of those posts that warned you seriously to never check something out, but of course some of us are just too stubborn to listen, right? The mistake many of us make is associating the account with some kind of robot policeman, but it turned out to be the biggest mistake of our lives. Coprobot is an Instagram account that has somehow amassed thousands of followers by posting something that most people wouldn't even want to think about, let alone look at. It is dedicated entirely to posting images of human waste. Yes, you heard that right. While most people are uploading vacation photos, food pics, and cute animal videos, there's an account that posts pictures of perhaps the most disgusting thing known to man. And before you ask, no, this isn't some medical education account or scientific resource. It's just image after image of what you'd expect to find in a toilet bowl. The account's username combines copro, which relates to fecal material, and bot. But make no mistake, this is not some made-up image. It's the actual thing. And where they are getting these many unwanted images from remains a mystery. Their bio is straightforward about what you'll see, leaving no room for confusion. If you think Instagram is all about beautiful photography and carefully curated content, think again. Not only does Coprobot completely shatter that image, it is also getting engagement, showcasing something that humans consider private, gross, and unshareable. The posts come with minimal context. The captions are short and humorous, allowing the images to do the talking. The comments combine shock, humor, and even genuine interest. But would anyone be following such an account? Why do they want to see human waste? Whether some of us admit it or not, the internet continues to open new possibilities, and there are people who will not waste any time to take full advantage. Different kinds of online content can get engagement now. Just based on shock value, some attract followers because they're pushing boundaries, while others are commanding patronage by normalizing what was considered taboo in the past. Humans are also more diverse now. Some people have a genuine fascination with scatological content, which is a real thing, by the way. If that's not you, we'd advise you not to seek out these accounts, because once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. The account also raises serious questions about content moderation on social media platforms. Instagram has strict policies about explicit visuals and violence, yet somehow, images of human waste exist in a gray area. It is gross, but not technically violating any rules. While the main account is no longer on Instagram, others have cropped up to continue the legacy. Most of us will never understand the appeal, but the accounts continue to exist. If you haven't seen any of these accounts yet, consider yourself lucky, and maybe, just maybe, keep it that way. On October 21, 2018, a man from Oakland, California, was visiting the Yosemite National Park. His name was Sean Madison. Like many, he had gone there to experience the breathtaking view the mountain has to offer. He joined the others on Taft Point, the most popular viewpoint, which offered unique perspectives of the beautiful Yosemite Valley. However, when he stood on the cliff to capture the memories via selfies, he discovered that someone was photobombing his pictures. At least 2 of his selfies had captured a woman with distinctive dyed pink hair. What he didn't know was that he was taking the last known photograph of the woman before a widely covered tragedy. The woman was 30-year-old Meenakshi Murthy, and she wasn't there alone. In fact, Murthy and her husband, 29-year-old Vishnu Viswanath, are a well-known couple who embraced the outdoor lifestyle like no other. They had a joint Instagram account, which they regularly updated with photographs about their journeys across the world. While you won't find anything disturbing on their Instagram, there's a backstory that is as tragic as anyone you've ever heard on the social media platform. Murthy and Viswanath were both Indians who started from humble beginnings, both from the Indian state of Kerala. Murthy hailed from Kottayam district, while Viswanath was a native of Kannur. They met in high school and began a charming story together. The two always knew they were meant to be together and wanted to tie the knot a long time ago. Their families, however, thought they were too young and advised them to wait. The love they shared would continue to grow. Murthy and Viswanath loved the same things and enjoyed the same interests. They both studied at the College of Engineering in Chinganore, where they graduated in. Viswanath studied technology and software development, landing a job with Cisco Systems in the US. Murthy got a degree in software engineering. By 2014, they finally convinced their families of their readiness to begin a new life together. They got married that year and moved to the US afterwards. The US opened up new opportunities to them, and they could finally pursue their dream of nature exploration. They started sharing their journeys and experiences through their Instagram account, holidays and happily ever afters. Murthy became the face of their Instagram account, her distinctive pink hair always shining through. She appeared regularly on camera, sharing life and adventure tips, while Viswanath was happy to put his camera handling skills to the test. They visited different places and took beautiful pictures, while learning about and immersing themselves in the local culture. Many identified with this type of content, and it was no surprise that their Instagram account grew quickly to over 19,000 followers. Some of the places they've visited include the gorgeous tulip fields of Holland, the iconic Flatiron Building in New York, the Portland Headlight and the beautiful Arboretum in Fort Williams Park, the idyllic Martha's Vineyard in the Cape Cod Island, the stunning white sand beaches, and the turquoise waters of the Maldives, the artistic Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore in Florence, Italy, top of the Rockefeller Center in New York, Emerald Lake in Vermont, and the Starved Rock State Park in Illinois. Meenakshi and Viswanath visited Virginia's Natural Bridge, the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, the Niagara Falls, the Grand Canyon, White Sands National Monument, the Wild West in Arizona, Mule Canyon Ruins, and San Francisco's Golden Gate. They shared this lovely photo from Times Square when they moved to New York in December 2016. And for their anniversaries, they enjoyed a hot air balloon adventure in September 2016, before skydiving in Santa Barbara the following year. By October 2018, it was time to visit the Yosemite National Park in California, United States. Yosemite is a fantastic gift of nature, renowned for its granite cliffs, waterfalls, clear streams, groves of giant sequoia, lakes, mountains, meadows, glaciers, and biological diversity. Yosemite is an integral part of the Sierra Nevada, being the largest habitat block in the mountain range. The park is a hub for various outdoor activities, including hiking, rock climbing, skiing, snowshoeing, mountain biking, and camping. But let's not forget the people who just want to enjoy the view from the cliffs and take a few selfies. This last group was where Murthy and Viswanath belonged. While many would go to great lengths for the perfect Instagram picture, Meenakshi and Viswanath were always careful. They actively advocated for care when visiting tall places. On one of their photo posts from the Grand Canyon, they added a caption that said, "Please be careful standing at the edge of canyons, mountains, high-rise buildings. The wind gusts are extremely dangerous, and your adrenaline rage is not worth your life." On a different photo they wrote, "A lot of us, including yours truly, is a fan of daredevilry. Attempts of standing at the edge of cliffs and skyscrapers. But did you know that wind gusts can be fatal? Is our life just worth one photo? However, sometimes, things can take unexpected turns, and the smallest mistakes can culminate in sad tragedies." On October 23, 2018, Meenakshi and Viswanath traveled to Yosemite National Park. They planned to capture the view as the sun set from Taft Point. When they arrived, They waited patiently until the sun started setting, having found the perfect spot for their shot. Yosemite has safety railings on the edges of the cliff, but there are other parts without the feature. Unfortunately, Meenakshi and Viswanath had selected a spot without railings. These were not some reckless people who wanted a perfect shot no matter what. They were aware of the dangers and were fairly experienced with things like this. They placed their camera on a tripod and set a timer. Other visitors had started leaving the park by this time since it was getting late. The couple walked closer to the edge and waited within the frame as the timer counted down. The exact event is unclear. It could have been anything from a slip to an unexpected gust of wind. Meenakshi and her husband fell 800 feet into the valley. The end of the camera timer came, but unfortunately, the couple was no longer in frame. The camera and tripod were found the next morning by park visitors. The search for the couple began, and their bodies were recovered after joint efforts by park rangers and highway patrol. Their followers are left waiting for an update that will never come. Their Instagram account sits there, no visible disturbance, but a troubling reminder for everyone who knows the backstory behind the pause and updates. Born December 29, 1996, Jolie was the vibrant teenage daughter of Michael and Regina Callan. She loved riding horses and going to watch musical plays. Jolie had a small frame, standing only 4 feet and 10 inches. She was easily recognizable among her peers, especially when she'd usually dye her hair pink or purple. Jolie attended Vincent High School. This was where she met her boyfriend, Lauren Daniel Bunner. Things picked up fast between them, and they started dating. It wasn't smooth, but they managed to keep it going. Lauren was a possessive boyfriend. Despite the latter's popularity and closeness to many, he wanted Jolie to only himself. Lauren insisted that Jolie cannot hang out with friends. Instead, she can only be with Lauren and his own friends. Jolie tried to leave the relationship several times, but Lauren was also a master of manipulation. He'd act dramatically and threatened to hurt himself whenever Jolie complained of his behavior or hinted at leaving the relationship. He also promised to change, but all these went on for 10 months without any progress. By 2014, when Jolie was turning 18, she had become a senior and would be on the graduation list the following year. She'd be going to college, and this was the perfect opportunity to cut ties with the manipulative relationship she had with Lauren. When she eventually informed him of her plans to move on, Lauren tried the usual, but it wouldn't work. Not this time. Jolie was already looking forward to spending time with her family and friends. But Lauren didn't take the news well. He called and texted Jolie several times, promising to be a better person. Jolie insisted on moving on, and even got into a new relationship after a few months. Lauren didn't want to let her go, so he came up with a sinister plan. He called Jolie, informing her of his intention to continue being friends with her. He invited Jolie to a hike to commemorate their renewed friendship. Jolie accepted the invite, unsuspecting of his plans. On August 30, 2015, Lauren arranged for them to meet at the Pinhoti Trail in Shea Estate Park in the Alabama countryside. The day before, Jolie informed her family and closest friends of the trip and told them to hold Lauren responsible if anything happened to her. She went along with her dog, Kiba. Lauren took this photo of Jolie and Kiba at the start of the journey. Strangely, he chose to document the day's events on his Instagram account. He uploaded the first image with the caption, "On our way to go hiking." The second photo was taken when they arrived. Again, he uploaded it with the caption, "Kiba's dragging Jolie on a mission." For the third photo, the caption was, "Oh, you know, just enjoying the view." It was a photo of Jolie carrying her dog near a cliff. The fourth and last photo, uploaded on Instagram, featured Jolie on a cliff, with her back turned to the camera. In a disturbing turn of events, Lauren pulled out a .22 caliber air rifle and shot her in the back of the head. Then, he pushed her body over the cliff. He dialed 911 to surrender himself. When the trial started, he pleaded not guilty and lied that they had a pact, which he couldn't proceed with. He almost escaped punishment because he was classified as a youthful offender. Alabama laws stipulate that anyone under 21 would not serve more than 3 years in prison, regardless of the seriousness of their crimes. The court agreed, and he was sentenced to 3 years. However, After pressure from Jolie's family and the media, the case returned to court, and Lauren was tried as an adult. He was sentenced to 52 years in jail, with eligibility for parole after 15 years. Lauren's Instagram account is a testament to the disturbing intentions within some individuals before committing crimes. The Instagram account still has several pictures of them together. The last 4 photos look like one taken by a friend, but the story behind them would haunt the strongest of humans. That last chilling case brings us to the end of this episode. I am sure you had a good time here. Then, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. We upload videos like these almost daily, so you don't want to miss out. You don't have to wait till the next upload. There will be more videos on your screen in about 3 seconds. I'll see you there, and I'm out.